and you're looking like that. It's just such an easy way to make it way more cinematic, give it way more emotion and character, and just stand out in a mix. Come on, guys, that's good stuff. All right, let's just get into it, baby. Episode 2. I have a general kind of vague idea of what I'm gonna do, and I just want to use a breakbeat and make kind of a breakbeat track. So let's hop into it. I found these 2 breaks. I like the live drum. I need that cymbal and the nice high top end on that snare. But I like the crack of that snare and the boominess of the kick drums. So I think I'm going to mix these 2 together. And we'll just paste it in. Cool. All right. And then to get the tempo synced, I just zoom in and cut it at the start of the bar. Obviously here. This part's just kind of a lead in. Line that up with the start of a bar. And then you can turn warp off. Then turn it back on, and then down here, if you type in the BPM of the original clip, sometimes I just use my phone with a metronome, and I just tap along as it plays to figure out the BPM. So it's closer to like 95, 97. I'm thinking this clip is just not actually to a steady pace, so what I will do is just watch this and wait for it to hit that line as I move this up. There we go. We're at 98. I was close. Yeah, as you can see that, we're not really hitting, but that's okay because the human error, the offness in a breakbeat's kind of cool, and we can smudge that around as we go. All right, so we got both clips in here. BPM set to 173. That's what I'm feeling. And yeah. And then this one. Bit of an odd loop, but we're going to chop it up and rearrange it anyways. So I kind of had an idea for a rhythm, and I'm just going to make it over here by cutting these parts out. Just looking for the clean single kick and snare. We're going to bring these over. Pretty straightforward. This is going to be our kind of baseline rhythm. So, all right, so the plan is to just kind of go in here, chop it up, move some stuff around, and make some general variations. All right, and this is the end result. Some variations added. All right, so that's a little 4-bar phrase, and I'm going to duplicate that and then add some more variation to get a full 8-bar phrase. A nice way to get that kind of choppy, old school, style sample sound is to actually trim your sample so there's a gap like that. Oh yeah, choppy. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. Well, I ended up modifying, kind of adding some variation to the little ghost notes and stuff, just, to make it more fun. So this is what we have. Yep. And I EQ'd these so they're just kind of the high end. Just adding that little like grit and snap on the top end. And then this, I gave a little boost to the to the highs to kind of bring out the ride cymbal in the background. And the snare, see, a lot of people really like the top snare, that like pop, that really thick, crack, boomy sound. But I don't know what it is about the bottom snare that I absolutely love. It's what gives it that kind of splatty sound, the high end kind of snap and sizzle to it. So I kind of boosted that. So yeah, with and without sounds like this. This is without and with. Just because I know in the mix it's gonna get everything's gonna get, you know, filled in, and I want this to kind of really stand out and be clear and present. So together. And before, without the EQs, sounded like this. Not quite as much life. This brings a little bit of fresh air to it. All right, now that we got a good basis, this is how I come up with the song titles. I hit Command S, and now I have to come up with one right now. Episode 2. All right, it's going to be called... Dude, who even knows? It's going to be called X75 Joules. I think that's how you spell joules. What is the measurement of energy? I'm pretty sure it's joules. Yes. X75 Joules. That's the title of the song now. All right, so I've got this kind of lo-fi, resonant, nasally brass pad going on Prophet. So I just wanted something that kind of has like a nice envelope, you know, the filter with some decay and resonance to get that kind of sound in it. You can hear it, yeah. So I'm just going to kind of lay down the meat of the chords, the key kind of thing, and get some movement going, get a sense of song. All right. Some minor mistakes. We'll clean that up. But I want to make that a little bit more ambient. So let's have some fun. Here's a little trick of mine that I'd like to not show you, but I hate people who hoard knowledge and safeguard it, especially with music. Come on, man. This is art. Let everybody know. Let everyone have fun. So this is one of my favorite ways to just add life to a pad or some ambient sound. And the best way to do this is purely by ear, because you're going to get things that you just couldn't get otherwise. So it's a bit of a process, so bear with me. I'll long story short it, and I'll show you the finished product. But basically, if we're listening to the sound, so much texture, so much resonance. We're going to pick out little frequencies that we like, and we're just going to boost those. Let's throw a new one on so I could just demonstrate one for you. We're just going to have the pad play, and we're going to add a obviously you saw a huge peak, and then we're just going to sweep the frequencies with it boosted. We're just going to stop on a frequency that we like the sound of. I'm exaggerating how much I'm boosting this so it's very clear to anyone watching. So if I move this around, you'll hear. So let's say I like that one. And then we'll just be reasonable with the boost. The point is we just want to kind of pick out frequencies we like. Just let them resonate a little bit more. Stand out. And so after you get a couple of those and you're looking like that, it's just such an easy way to make it way more cinematic, give it way more emotion and character, and just stand out in a mix. So, I mean, I'll just A-B it while it's going and just listen to that difference. Come on, guys. That's good stuff. So, obviously, I pulled a little bit of this out just to get rid of that kind of over-dramatic, nasally, boxy sound. Getting rid of that, it's kind of the mess. We don't really need much. Just the low mids tell us where we're at. And our harmonics and textures all coming from here. And here's how you get things even more fun. I can change the stereo placement. So maybe I can put this one on the right side. We'll leave that one stereo. And let's put this one on the left. And we'll call that good. And here's where the magic happens. You can use an LFO here. And we're going to just create a slow oscillation. And we're going to use these to modulate either the position of these, if you kind of like one to move around, and the frequency to kind of feel like it's going to add like a slight pitching effect. It's because you're going to hear a specific frequency raise, pitch, and lower, which is going to sound like maybe a voice of the synthesizer detuning, which is kind of like a chorus. Or we can use it to just modulate volume, so that resonant frequency kind of comes in and out and just brings a lot more life to the pad. And this is what we end up with, a bunch of peaks and whatnot. And when they're moving around, lots of fun. Without, with. All right. Heart and soul of the song has been created. It's time to get funky. Jamal sings for us. Take one.
Get out of here. I'm just going to give you snippets of incomplete thoughts.
Yeah, that's
perfect. All right. Ew.
The issue is because this is the end.
What if I can't hold you in the same esteem?
Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Sussin. All right. Let's roll.
And then it'll break me. It'll literally break me.
It will break you.
Breaks me. What if I can't hold you in the...
Like, it's Pretender by Foo Fighters. In the dark, the
okay, all right. That's not going to help me at all, but... Oh. I'm going to confuse me. I'll give it a shot.
Breaks me. What if I can't hold you in the same esteem?
Woo!
Something like that. Something like that.
Something like that.
Something.
That sounds great.
Should be left alone.
I think we have enough here that we can just play with that.
Yeah.
All right. It's a new day, another morning after. And I've done some work. You know, arrangement, little detail stuff, doing some automation and things. I won't get into the details, but, you know, good amount of work. But this is currently the arrangement. I have an intro set up. and then it kind of picks up and then goes into the first chorus. We got a verse, chorus 2, verse 2, bridge, an instrumental break, and the end. Makes sense. But right now I have this little MIDI piano here. I had an idea while I was listening to the song and I just put that in. But I'm about to get recording on my real acoustic piano. So that's what's up. That's what's up next. Hello. All right, so I'm going to take a quick minute to speak to you. If you're a DIY musician or, like me, kind of just learning everything on your own. This is one of the things that I learned. Right now, you're looking at a piano with 2 microphones, which traditionally you're always told, use stereo pairs, like 2 of the same condenser microphones, etc., etc. Expensive gear talk, which always leads to the question of, well, then can I even do it? Should I even try because I don't have that? Absolutely. One day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I don't have 2 of these, which is a Neumann TLM 103. Great microphone. I use it for vocals and such and such. And then on the right here, I've got a Sennheiser MKH 416, which is a shotgun mic. Not something you would normally use on this, but it is a condenser microphone, so I knew the quality of the recording is good. Honestly, you could probably use an SM57 if you need to. This idea that certain mics, this costs like $1,100, this costs $100. And the difference, when you're really talking about just learning how to record and being in your own space and whatnot, that's a lot of money. You don't need to spend. And you hear it a bunch. You always hear, oh, you can get away with the cheap stuff. And then you think, can I really? You can really. Listen to this. I'm going to unplug this so you don't hear any of it. That sounds great, and I don't play piano. So anyway, I got a loop set up on the DAW because I can't be there to control it. A bit of a complication when recording on your own. But I'm going to let that play, and I'm going to record the chorus piano melody. Let me hit play on the computer. Ah, shit. I bumped it with my head. Oops.
I made a mistake.
Okay, another new day, another morning after quite a few mornings after. Just did some, the boring stuff to watch, EQ knobs and A-Bing things and editing and then freezing, flattening. And here we've got things, for the most part exported down to more simple forms, kind of single stems for the entire drum bus. And then from here I was doing a little extra, some more processing. So, and then adding, textures, ear candy and transitions and such. But one of the things that I'm super proud of was this idea that I came up with. I had Jamal sing a few of the notes. I went to the piano and said, hey, sing this note into the microphone. He then sang that note into the microphone. Amazing. These are amazing ideas. You guys are lucky. I'm just kidding. There's more. So I picked 4 notes, and then if you imagine each note divided into 4. First 2 kept the same. Third of the fourth, up an octave. Fourth of the fourth, down an octave. Did that for all 4 different notes. Sliced it to MIDI and randomized it. If you want to get into the details, I could make a specific video just how I made this sound. But anyways, you randomize the velocity of the MIDI notes. You randomize which note it plays. So it's playing a snippet of any of that audio 4 different notes, each note 3 different octaves. It's kind of bouncing around. And then with some effects and whatnot, comes out like this. Now that's fun. That is so happy. And so things like that, little glitches. Yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Some transitional sounds. I like a good breakbeat transition, baby. Yeah. And then we got some little ear candy things like this here, which I called verse blips because they're little blippy blips that happen in the verse. Pretty crazy. Not doing a lot. They just fill out a little bit more space. And you hear that? It gets a little stronger there as the note descends. Now this is key. We're talking automation curves. When you are mixing a song, people recognize the importance of having an intro and a drop or like a verse into the big chorus and these story arcs throughout the song. But what you're probably not realizing is in between all of those big transitional moments, there's all these small transitional moments that really help emphasize some of the lyrics or some of the emotions that you're trying to portray in that song. So for example, if I open, this is just volume right here. This automation curve is simply volume. And as you can see, it really moves. And I mean, you can kind of hear that if you're watching and following along. Slowly comes out, and then because I wanted, I'm trying to emphasize and kind of reduce certain areas. And maybe for this, like the atmosphere, the kind of pad instrument that I recorded with the Prophet, this thing, I just kind of want it to swell for each chord. Come back down. Push back up. Come back down. Obviously, like you hear that, it makes sense. But I mean, to really emphasize all these things through automation and maybe EQ, as you can see, I mean, the automation curves just get crazy. So if you're trying to mix and you're trying to really add life to your song and make it feel stronger than just a couple loops or a couple, like, the verse is like a series of loops and it feels like that. And then all of a sudden we're in the chorus, which is a series of loops, which feels like that. This is another great way. And I mean, that's just on these small ear candy elements. Imagine what we're doing with the important stuff. All right. You got to create life in the details to really bring out the magic in your music. It's effort, baby. But I like to think it pays off if you take nothing else from this video. As a musician, as a viewer, I hope you just smile and have a good time. But as a musician, if you take nothing else from this video, it's understanding small things like dynamic EQs and automation and volume and all these little details that may not be very apparent really add up to creating a crazy amount of life in the track. It's all the little details, man. You gotta get that stuff down. You gotta put the effort in. You gotta put the time in. But that's enough. Anyhow, thanks for enjoying this behind the scenes, the making of music. Go check out the full song now. The other video, the one that's probably titled X75 Joules, that probably came out when this one came out. I don't actually know perfectly because this is the past. I mean, the stuff you were watching a couple minutes ago happened a couple weeks ago for me. What up, guys? It is Future Shuno here. I just wanted to let you know, if you're new here, my name is Shuno, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist and producer. This is a personal channel where I post videos of my personal music and the recording and production process. You got any musician friends or producer friends? Send them this video. Otherwise, X75 Joules is out, guys. Whatever streaming platform you like, Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, it's there. Stream that. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your folks, all the fun stuff. Subscribe. There will be more videos. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.